thanks for joining my channel. If you clicked on this video, you probably are a student on Cambly or you're thinking about signing up to Cambly to practice your English conversation skills. I've been a teacher on Cambly since May 2018 and there's a few things that I thought it would be useful for students to know before you start booking teachers with Cambly. You can book tutors when they are live on Cambly without having a reservation. You can just call them. As tutors, we do something called priority hours, so we commit to being available for that hour. So anyone can call us. You can also book tutors via their schedules. So they'll all have different schedules available and it should show what time it is available, what time they are available in your time zone. So my first tip is to read and watch tutor bios and introduction videos because it will give you an idea of what they can teach you. For example, I always disclose that I am not specifically trained in IELTS teaching, so I would understand if they want to pick a tutor that is specifically trained in that area. Again, that's something a tutor would likely advertise in their bio. Then think about why you want to learn English. So you might be moving to Canada or America or the UK and you'll want to get used to hearing that specific accent. Watching a tutor's introduction video gives you an idea of how they sound. Some students come to me and find British way easier. Then other students join me and they look at me and they're like, what? They can't understand me. They have learned all the time with American tutors. And that's fine if they want to start familiarising themselves with the British accent, but if you've already watched that intro video, you know what to expect is going to come out of the tutor's mouth. So you've had a look at some tutor videos and you've read some bios, and there might be some tutors where you're like, this could work. So you can book them in their schedule. Before you go to the lesson, you need to think about what you want. What do you want? What do you need? What do you want from this situation? Do you want business English advice? Do you need training for an IELTS course? Do you just want to chat about culture? Always have in mind what you want. The tutor is there to do things your way. If the tutor's being bossy and saying you need to learn this, this and this, that's not the way I do things. Cambly is your platform, so think about what you need from it. But if you go to the lesson unprepared, it's going to be harder for the tutor to give you a lesson worth your time. Not impossible, but harder. Tip 3 is to show up on time. I know things happen. Sometimes an emergency will happen and you cannot get to a computer. We're all human. Tutors would understand that. A message to explain why you had to cancel the lesson, even if you can't send it until like a day or more later, is always appreciated. I have some students that have really important jobs and sometimes they just can't make a session, and I understand that. They always apologise. It's the times when people book, say, 3 one-hour slots in your week and then just don't turn up to 2 without any explanation. That's like $20 lost that I could have booked with someone else. I know things happen. No one's going to demonise you if you cannot make an appointment, but when people start doing it regularly and you can tell it's just like, can't be bothered tonight, like, this new show is on Netflix and I want to watch that. Some people really rely on the income they get from Cambly. So just remember that, like, tutors don't want to just sit and twiddle their thumbs. They want to teach you and chat to you because we're nosy. We like talking to people all over the world. Another thing about turning up, is turning up on time. Sometimes we have lessons back to back, so if you're a few minutes late, we still have to leave on the dot of when the lesson is due to finish, because it's not fair on a student that's then turning up on time to push their lesson back. Sometimes if it's 2 or 3 Sometimes if it's 2 or 3 minutes, and I know I've got regular students that know me well, I will keep going. If you've had technical issues trying to log into Cambly, we understand that. Again, going back to the thing that we're all human, it happens. If you turn up 15 minutes past for a lesson that was meant to start at, say, 6 o'clock, and you turn up at 6:15, the tutor will likely not be able to give you your full 30 minutes. So you've booked a tutor, you know what kind of things they teach and that it might fit with what you want to learn. You are turning up for the lesson because you're a superstar, and now you don't know what to talk about. If you are trying lots of different tutors, the conversation is quite often repetitive. Hi, so where are you calling from? Do you like to travel? What countries have you been to?
So
where
are you
need
calling
English?
from?
Do you like to travel?
So where are
what
you
countries have you
calling
been to
from?
where you
Do
need
you like to
English?
travel?
What countries have you been to
So
where
where are
you
you
need
calling
English?
from?
If you just keep hopping from different tutors to different tutors who are asking you the same thing, you're not going to expand your vocabulary or develop your English very much. Sometimes students turn up and they're like, well, you're the teacher, teach me. Within 5 minutes of speaking to someone, it's pretty much impossible to know what they already know and what they want to be taught. Yes, people are teachers on Cambly. Not all people are qualified teachers, because it is a very casual, conversational based platform, and it is a lot cheaper than other English learning platforms. A tutor, A, hasn't made a lesson plan for you if they've never met you before. B, even if they have already met you, with the best due respect, they aren't going to spend an hour preparing for a lesson that they're going to make $5 to $10 from, because if they did that for every single student, they'd hardly be making any money. So they don't mean it disrespectfully, but they can only do minimal prep for your lessons. I just think it's something to bear in mind when you're getting lessons on Cambly. Luckily, there are tons of resources to decide how you want to have your lesson. Some people read news articles. I will link some common news sites in the description below to practice reading and pronunciation. Some students watch a YouTube video and then tell me what they learned in, for example, a TED Talk, and some students just want to learn some technical grammar. Again, I will link some useful sites in the description below that might help you with things like tenses, prepositions, superlatives and comparatives. These are all interactive worksheets you can work through yourself, but it's kind of nice to work through them with a tutor and they can explain why something's wrong instead of you just getting an X on the screen like It helps you remember why it's wrong if you're talking about it with someone. Cambly has a useful resource of discussion topics, IELTS topics. Again, I will link them in the description. These are topics that can come up on your exam. And don't worry if you don't know where to start. A tutor might suggest starting with a conversation topic and send you a list of conversation topics. And again, commonly people say, you pick, I'll talk about anything. That's okay, but I do believe you learn more if you are doing a topic that you are interested in. How boring is learning if we're talking about something that we're not interested in? Cambly is ultimately a conversational tool. A tutor is there to listen, to give you corrections when you need it, and hopefully you'll make a friend somewhere else in the world. That's one of my favourite things about it. I hope these tips help. If you do want to speak to me on Cambly, my username is Charlie Raz, and I hope to see you there. If you have any questions about my schedule, you can send direct messages on Cambly or comment below. It is easily one of the cheapest and most flexible ways to learn English, so it really is a platform that you can grab and use exactly how you want. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Let me know in the comments if there are any other tips about learning English that you would like to know.